Is Coby White ready to step into a major leadership role for the Chicago Bulls? Well, he believes he is. And on today's episode, me and Pat are going to discuss that, break that all down, and how Coby can step into that leadership role with that void left by DeMar DeRozan. All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily Chicago Bulls podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on, Bulls fans? Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Locked On Bulls, member of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every single day. That is Pat the Designer, host and creator of the Windy City Breeze, and host of the Chicago Bears podcast over at ESPN 1000. I'm Haize, host and creator of Chicago Bulls Central and Chicago Bears Central YouTube pages and podcast. And today's episode is brought to you by, as I stall because I didn't get it up to start the show.
They got pills for that.
Is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more as the playoffs wind down. The sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost and or bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. All right, Pat. Coby White was interviewed and talking about, the Bulls leadership role. He talked about him and Io kind of really being ready to step up as leaders for the Chicago Bulls team. He talked about the lessons that he learned from DeMar DeRozan and how DeMar wasn't always the loudest in the room, but he was a leader, and how Coby White learned from that. Pat, me and you have been talking about for years, regardless of whatever our feelings were about DeMar DeRozan on the basketball court, but that the lessons that he taught these young Bulls players were going to be ones that carried on throughout their career. Yeah. Hearing that Coby White says that he is ready to step into that role, be that leader for Modest Bucilis, be that leader for Julian Phillips. How do you feel about that?
I mean, listen, I think that it's something that we talked about last season, right? Where Coby White has been one of those players that it felt like for the first time he had something that you couldn't take away from him last season. He's been one of those players who has been inconsistent, who hasn't been able to consistently hit a shot. Defense has been inconsistent, hasn't been that same level of player. But last year there was something about Coby White that I thought, when Zach LaVine was off the court and then when it was just Coby and he was out there demanding of his guys, the leadership of Coby White really developed last year. And it was something that was, when the Bulls were actually winning, a major part of that. He kind of kept the team together, kept the team focused, right? They went through some major injuries as far as your star players going out. And it seemed like Coby White was one of those guys who was finally stepping up in that role. That's something to me that I hope does continue this season. And I think he can be really good at, especially when you heard, right? Like the thing around him was everybody was like, he's kind of a dick. You know what I mean? Like everybody would just be like, Kobe's cool. You know what I mean? But like when he's demanding of you, like he's kind of a dick. Like he wants you to do your job the right way, and he doesn't want you to mess your job up. So those are the things that you want to see out of Coby White. I think that he can be ready to become a leader for the Chicago Bulls team. I think that he can lead in the right way, and I think that he can hold these guys to a standard. The question that still remains, though, with Coby is, can he hold himself to that standard? And holding yourself to that standard in my book doesn't mean, you feel bad when you let yourself down. Everybody feels bad when they're not able to accomplish what they're looking to accomplish. But to me, can you hold yourself to a standard of excellence that it's going to be tough to do every game, but let's say for 80% of the season, you're consistently the 19 to 23, 24 point per game guy that we saw. And it doesn't kind of have like what we saw at the second half of the season where, he was dealing with some injury, but just never seemed like Coby White really returned to the player that we saw pre All-Star break.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big difference between what Coby White was pre and post All-Star break. Now, and that's the thing is that to me, what he's talking about as far as leader, I'm talking about like the verbal leader. Like your leader isn't always necessarily the best player on the court. Now, Coby has the chance to be both of those, and I think how he adapts to like defenses is keying in on him and everything are a big important part of that as well. But I love that you called out the pre and post All-Star break because he hit a wall. Pre-All-Star break, he was 19.6 points per game, 46% shooting from the field, 39% shooting from three, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, almost 5 rebounds. Post-All-Star break, 18 points per game on 41% shooting from the field, 32% from three. The assist and rebound numbers stayed pretty much the same, but he has to find a way to be consistent throughout that whole season. And I would even say this, even if you're not looking at pre and post All-Star break, the streakiness. We got to see a more consistent Coby White this season, I think, as well.
And I think here's the thing. It doesn't have, I like that you pointed out, right? Like that it doesn't have to be the best player on your team. What it does have to be, though, is somebody that you can count on night in and night out. And that usually doesn't just mean he's the guy that does the talking. You know what I mean? Like that's usually a guy, like you look at a guy like Joakim Noah. Yeah, Joakim wasn't going to put up 15 plus every night, but what Joakim was going to do was
that one season
very well. He was going to be able to go out there and give you the energy. You knew what Joe was going to bring night in and night out. You look at a guy like Draymond Green. Draymond Green has been talked about as being the leader of that team, not Stephen Curry, who's arguably the greatest shooter of all time. I don't even know if it's arguably, but I guess some people argue everything. But Draymond Green was somebody who consistently a defensive juggernaut, always was going to be facilitating the ball, was going to be setting things up for that team, right? So like, I look at guys like that and say, yeah, maybe Coby White's not the most consistent guy offensively. Maybe he does have those off nights. Maybe he is a little bit of a streaky shooter, but defensively, can he bring it every night? Facilitating the basketball, can he bring it every night? Those are the things that I really want to see from Coby White moving forward. The intangibles. And we saw, though, I think that was the biggest change pre to post All-Star break. We saw those even on nights he had tough shooting nights pre All-Star break. We didn't see that nearly as much post All-Star break.
I agree with that. Yeah. And I mean, Coby understands what that is. And I think when you look at all the work Coby's putting in this offseason, hopefully that is for him to better weather what comes with being a leader on the team and being one of the better highest usage rate players and scorers on the team. Coby White is going to have a large role scoring on this team. Now, Zach's coming back. A lot of that's going to go to Zach as well, but like either way, you those two players are really going to be the offense for the Chicago Bulls team in a lot of ways. So yeah, it's going to be fun to see. I don't know how ugly it's going to be or anything like that, but it's really going to be fun to see not only how Josh Giddey incorporates that, but who does step into that leadership role and becomes that in those moments for this Bulls team. Because keep in mind, 39 wins last year, 27 of those were in clutch games.
Yeah, and I think it is going to be the thing to watch. Does Josh Giddey improve Coby's game to where he can become more consistent? And then on top of that, can Coby maintain that leadership role? Like those are the two things. Now it's going to be a completely different combination with these guys in here, with Josh Giddey in here, with Jalen Smith in here. Things are going to change. You're not going to see whether they change for the better or for the worse. It has yet to be seen, but you're not going to see guys. You're not going to see the same things that you saw from this team over the last couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, theoretically, we should also be playing a more modern style as far as the pace like that.
No, that's always the hope.
Huh?
I said, well, that's always the hope.
Yeah, that's what they preach about and talk about. We'll see if it actually comes in. I mean, I will say this: we have the roster to at least do it now, and we did it for December and halfway through January, and then we started getting injuries again. And Billy Donovan said, see, I'll let y'all try it a little bit. Let's go and ring that back in." So.
Basically, dog. I mean, like, the one thing that I really want to see is how does Coby accept some of the changes that are going to come to this team?
Yeah.
How does he flow with those punches that are going to come just because there's new bodies in here? I mean, for the most part, Coby's been like, it's easy to be the leader to the same guys.
Yeah.
Can you be that guy when the new guys are in the room?
Yeah, I mean, now hopefully it does help that a lot of young guys like Coby White's 4 years older than Josh Giddey, 3 years older than Josh Giddey,
like that,
5 years older than Modest Busil. It's like the fact of the matter is that Coby's in that place, that area, going into his 6th year in the league where, yeah, that's about the time that if you're going to be a leader, you start growing into that leadership role. And so let's see if Coby can do it. Or maybe we get surprised by maybe Zach LaVine all of a sudden that becomes a leader. We're just like, where did that come from?
That's not overreaching. Yeah, I mean, not really expecting it. I don't know if did they clear? Oh no, they didn't. Let's ask Scottie Pippen his thoughts on it. Yeah, that's what I thought. That's about what I thought about it. Yep, I can see that as well. I can see that as well, Scotty. The confused sniff with the starter dreads is the same thought process I had there.
I don't even know you call that starter dreads, bro. That's like baby mop. Like, I don't even understand that, bro. Like,
he got that. You know that mop they sell for when you season like different meats on a smoker and stuff like that. He got that. He got the hair mop.
Yeah, the hair mop. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, listen, I'm sure at this point now he's looking at it and saying, "Hey, y'all see what Jordan's son was doing in Paris?"
Listen. We're not gonna talk about that here. We're not gonna talk about that. Bump man. Yeah, that's me.
Anyway, next up, we're going to be talking about the Bulls hiring a former player as a new scout for the team. But before we get into that, we got to get into a message from one of our sponsors, and that is FanDuel. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down, we get fewer games, and the sports stop sporting like we want them to. But FanDuel lets me keep the sports going anytime, wherever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head over to FanDuel.com and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. All right, Patrick. The Bulls have hired E'Twaun Moore as a scout. E'Twaun Moore, who played a couple of seasons for the Chicago Bulls, had an actually pretty long NBA career for what it's worth. What do you think about the Bulls hiring another scout? You can never have too many scouts, I feel. To this team, a local guy as well, E'Twaun Moore. So,
what the heck is that? Who are we looking for E'Twaun Moore to scout? I think that's the. I would assume point guard.
I mean, you don't have to scout the position that you played. So, I mean, he's a scout. Everyone.
I mean, I get you, but like, I don't know. Maybe E'Twaun has been good at this behind the scenes, and we didn't know it. I just shout out to this. Like you said, you can never have too many scouts. I'm always fine with bringing a former Bull back into the building. I don't know who I'm expecting E'Twaun Moore to bring in the building. Maybe they're looking for more players like E'Twaun Moore. E'Twaun Moore was a solid defender, very scrappy player. Yeah, I mean, maybe they're looking for more of that. Bring more intensity.
You're looking at this too zoomed in, bro. It's really not like they're like scout, brother. Like it's like you, because you know he's a player. It's like you think like, what type of players? Like you don't know. We can't name any of the scouts on the Chicago Bulls. Like,
you do scout and expertise, right? If you're good at finding big men, they're gonna send you to scout big men. If you're good at, you know what I mean? Like they are gonna send you to scout your expertise. Yeah, you can look at all the players that are there and get a feel for it, but it's not just I scout everybody in the world. Like they're gonna have
they do have location. Some come down to region, some comes down to hey, you're gonna go look at ACC players. Like, yeah, there are that. But, you know, we don't know what it's going to be. And ultimately, part of what Mark Eversley's job is that he is head of scouting in his role as well. So he's over that scouting department. So he's going to be reporting to Mark Eversley. But, I mean, listen, ultimately what it comes down to is that I feel like regardless, I don't know if there's a cap on how big your scouting department can be. But at this point, with the Bulls going younger, us having all of our draft picks except the one that we owe out to the San Antonio Spurs, get everybody. Get everybody that you can hire to scouts. Get all the data and information that you can. I don't care if you will it down to just saying, hey, you are just scouting guards that are 6 foot and it's between 6 foot and 6'5". I don't care what it is. Just we need all the bit of scouting help that we can get is all I'm saying there. That's all I mean.
Now, the reason they hired him is because we know why. I'll tell you this. This was from Casey Johnson. Bulls have hired former Bull and East Chicago, Indiana native to scout. Oh, my bad. I read that the wrong way. I thought they were saying that they hired him to scout East Indiana or East Chicago and Indiana. I was like, we know what reason. I read that the wrong way from Casey. I almost went down a rabbit hole there, dog.
That would have been crazy.
That would have been nuts, dog. It would have been nuts. The one thing that I do like about this though is you know, he's already got some relationships with some of the colleges, right? You know that he's still got relationships at Purdue where he played at. So you hope that carries over, and we've seen how the relationships have carried over with the Chicago Bulls here. I mean, like the move to go get Drum is because he was with Mark Eversley in Philly, and Mark Eversley was like, yeah, I'll go get him. Like I'd love to have a guy like that here, right? Like the moves to go get Torrey Craig is because of AK's history with Torrey Craig on the team. So it's good to have those relationships there, especially with somebody who's probably still spent more time around the college game since he's been out and has been able to kind of get a look at that. I think this is a solid hire for the Chicago Bulls, and hopefully it ends up bearing some fruit.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, is this we're gonna hear about him now being hired,
And
we'll
we'll
probably
never hear about
never
him
hear
again.
about him again. For all we know, he could if the Bulls do draft a star, he could have been the guy who was there scouting, and we'll never know. They'll never report that. So
We're
it is
just
what
gonna
it
be
is.
like, man, AK's got it. Like all of a
Exactly.
sudden he just figured it out.
Yeah. That's what's crazy about it. But yeah, Etuan Moore having a 10-year NBA career. I mean, I think there is something about, regardless of the caliber of player that you were, there is something about just because you played the game, you can pick up on little intricacies. So I like it when former players do get into being in the scouts. And keep in mind, Etuan Moore was actually a highly coveted recruit coming out of high school as well.
Oh yeah. Etuan Moore was a baller.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this though. When did we start reporting on scouts getting hired?
Oh, bro, it's every August. August, bro, like it happens.
I feel like I don't remember us ever talking about it. Who was the last important scout that got hired? I don't even know if Etuan Moore is important. Like I know we talk about like the lead scout, like the guy that leads it. But Etuan Moore is a regular scout.
Oh, you talking about the regular scout, bro?
Yeah,
I have no
get
idea.
the lead scouts, but when's the last time we ever got a report like regular dude coming in? He's going to be watching basketball.
Yeah, you know what? If he wasn't a former player and somebody that people could know from the name recognition, I don't think that we would have ever heard that this happened.
I saw it come across the timeline, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I swiped past it because all the White Sox news today. I was like, Pedro Gaffal fired. Here we go. Oh, snap. Grady Sizemore. When the heck did Grady Sizemore get there? By the way, my goal is to be so good at something that I get. Grady Sizemore has been with the organization for the entire season. So he was here last year. His title was MLB coach. My goal is to just be so good at something that my title's just generic and a check so up. What is he coaching? What nobody knows? Was he a hitting coach? Was he a bench coach? MLB coach. And now he's the manager.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I'm just looking at the Bulls staff here. They don't even list their scouting department in the staff.
I'm telling you, bro. Like we don't talk about scouts, bro. This is brand new.
The sports scientist is listed here on the physical therapist is listed. The security and facilities manager is listed on the staff. Nothing about the scouting department.
The dude with all the keys is listed. They got the guy opening the door listed, but not that selfie.
They do have one of the scouts listed here. Jason Brown, the advanced scout, is listed here.
Advanced scout sound like he running stuff.
Yeah.
No, he's probably the advanced scout. He's probably the guy that's like the look ahead.
The interim head equipment manager is listed on the staff list.
Hey, bro, that's disrespectful a little bit. Am I wrong? Am I wrong to say that? Like the scouts are the ones going out there trying to find all these guys for the GMs.
And this is the thing. The scouts have one of the most important jobs because people think because we saw AK go and watch a game that Ernest Batum was there, and then we end up finding out that that's who he was scouting. That's how that worked. AK's in his
Somebody
office.
was there the whole time.
AK's in his office 9 times out of 10, right? To your point, there's somebody who literally watched the team games for probably about 30 to 90 days.
That poor
that
bastard.
we're never gonna get. They're never gonna talk about.
That poor bastard. Like that's so tough for me to see. Like we talk about Etuan Moore because he played for the Bulls, but outside of that, they don't list the scout. That means they just want all the credit.
That's what I'm saying.
He didn't do nothing.
And that is something that as basketball fans we do, right? Like if AK, for example, I'm just using this let's say Marco. For example, Marco did not work out, right? So we look at it and say, AK, his evaluation was wrong. For all we know, they could have sent 5 scouts to look at this guy, and they all said, hey, AK, this is the one.
That's so funny to me, bro, that they just don't list them. I'm trying to see how many scouts does an NBA team have.
5, usually 5 scouts is what an NBA team has.
That's hilarious. They basically were just like, nah, F this guy. I did that. Yeah, like that's nuts, bro.
the head equipment manager and the security guy.
Bro, guys with all the keys, bro. Everybody that got keys is listed, bro. But the dude that found
so where's
Coby
the
White
Bears facilities manager? They still hasn't found the lawnmowers that got stolen from Haize.
Oh, what a come up, bro. What a freaking come up.
Bro, it got like $40,000 in lawnmowers, bro.
What a come up, bro.
It's crazy, man.
And it's so I'm still like, it's still mind blowing to me because it's like I'm at Hallis Hall every day. There's nowhere to just drive them out of there. There's no spot where you could just be like, load them up, boys. You know what I mean? Like,
oh man,
had to be an inside job, man. We just never heard anything more. Last year was a weird season, bro. Allen Williams, the running backs coach, like lawnmowers are gone. Last year was a weird year, bro. Oh man, let's keep this thing moving along. No, we got some major changes coming to Locked On Bulls. We'll talk about those coming up next. But first, got to tell you guys all about BetterHelp. Now, y'all already know me and Haize are big proponents of therapy, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and when your schedule is packed with kids' activities, big work projects, and more, it's easy to let your priorities slip. Even when you know, or even when we know what makes us happy, it's hard to make time for it. But when you feel like you have no time for yourself, non-negotiables like therapy are more important than ever. If you're thinking about starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists anytime for no additional charge. Never skip therapy day with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/LockedOnNBA to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/LockedOnNBA.
All right, y'all. Last topic of the day. Yeah. So we got major changes coming to Locked On Bulls. For those that don't know, we just want to inform you guys that Lauren Cox will be taking over Locked On Bulls.
Oh God, not the shot. Not a shot at Lauren. Lauren didn't deserve that. Lauren has nothing to do with this.
He did. He definitely did.
Just for the comment section alone.
Yeah. No, but we do have an announcement for Locked On Bulls. I'm gonna go ahead and turn it over to Pat, man.
This has been an amazing time at Locked On Bulls, but unfortunately, this is going to be my last month here for at least the foreseeable future. Locked On's an amazing company. And I would always be willing to come back, but there's some changes that are happening in my life that make the night games a little bit more difficult. Good changes, good things that are coming. I'm not sick or nothing, so you know what I mean. Like, it's always fun to do that. But yeah, this is gonna be my final month here at Locked On. We're gonna move on to some different things. I'm not gonna say bigger and better things because this show has been such an amazing experience being able to do this with my brother. I'm not finna get all sappy on this one. We'll say that for the last episode. I'm gonna see if in a month's time I can cry. I don't have the ability to do it, bro. Like I'm gonna see if like by the end of the month I'm just like, I know somewhere deep down in my heart.
But that's because it's not like this. This is just the end of the Locked On Bulls run. But me and you are still going to collab on some things.
100%.
That's not going away. This may even put us in a better position with Views from the Bleachers, which is, for those that don't know, is a kind of general sports show that me and Pat started. Well, Pat started, and then we kind of revamped it. I came on to do it with Pat. So yeah, that doesn't.
Then we just stopped doing it.
Yeah, I mean,
we got a lot of
we both did get busy, bro. Like we both, and that's the thing in all of this is like, you know, I'm not here to like Pat got things going on that are great things, no negativity there. We both have a lot going on. We're working for a lot of stuff between Pat at ESPN, me at Bleacher Report, you know, doing those type of things, and so you know. It's great because we both put in great work, right, to get to where we've respectively gotten to. And I think we both always knew that at some point it was going to come to this because we just put in so much work. And so we always love doing the show together. Part of the reason why we've stuck it out so much is honestly getting to do this show with Pat every single day. Like, that definitely, because talking Bulls twice every day, especially for a team that won 39 games, sometimes can be tough. But doing it with my brother makes it worth it. And so, I
do feel bad that I'm probably leaving you on the season where they're gonna win like 27 games.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it is what it is. Like I'll get it through my therapy.
We got to do the BetterHelp ad read again. We got to
do the better. I may actually give them a call. No, but I appreciate you, Pat, for everything, man. Most people don't know when me and Pat started doing the show. You probably know from the way the chemistry has changed, but like when me and Pat first started doing the show, we had recorded together one time, and that was a live call. It wasn't like we really had a chance to have a conversation and a back and forth. And so then we built this, and we've been doing this for is this going in? This would have been our fourth season.
This would have been our this would have been our third full season again.
Third full season, yeah, because we took it over in March
half of that DeMar year.
Yeah, so that's what that has come to, man. But I guess it's not the end. Me and Pat will still be working together on other things.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it sucks because now I am probably gonna have to talk about a 20-win Bull season by my damn self.
I mean, listen, it's I'll still pop in here from time to time just for the fun of it, of course. But like I said, listen, the West Coast trips, the live shows at 2 a.m. While I love them, and they're a lot of fun. Things are changing that you got to change the evening schedule up, and so this is not a bad thing. It's so funny because, and I really want people to kind of pay attention because this for me has been a lesson. This has been very hard for me because I don't want to leave. It's me leaving because of a situation that is coming up now, right? But like this is how you want to leave a job. This is how you want to leave a company. This has been, I mean, a whirlwind. All the ups and downs that we've gone through with Locked On. You know what I mean? Like when you can get to the end of your run and go, man, this kind of sucks a little bit. That's tough
because you're not leaving it like, hey, I can't wait to get up out of here.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like every and that's the thing. Every like construction job and all that I've left is just like, man, we finna be in a better spot. Let's go. And then you get there for money. You like, this spot sucks too. Like that's not the situation of what's happening here. So listen, I love you guys. We got a ton of content everywhere. So stay tapped in with your boy. It's not like I'm falling off the face of the earth. Me and Haize, like we said, are still gonna do a ton of stuff together. I still got the Windy City Breeze, so you can still see me over there. If you haven't done so, go subscribe there. We also got the what else we got? Oh, the Chicago Bears podcast. I had to remember my own show. So if you
only started it and created it, and
you know what I mean, don't worry about that. Don't worry about
that.
Yeah. If you guys want to, if you're Bears fans, go tap in with me over there, man. So it's not that the content is stopping; it's just the end of an era, bro. The end of a freaking era here on Locked On, man. And it's been a great run.
It's definitely been a great run. Keep in mind, bro, like, it's just the whole way that happened, man. Like the fact that I knew I wanted to do this show with you the moment that I think I reached out to you before I even knew I had it. I was like, hey, Matt Peck told me they may be leaving. I'm like, hey, if this happens, I need you to roll over this with me. Yeah, the
funniest thing about it was I literally was like, hey, I didn't know that wasn't Matt's show. thought Matt was Locked On. I didn't know. I thought he had that before.
I said, hey, Pat, you want to do Locked On with me? Thinking it's just sliding over. And then it's like, hey, these people are reaching out to me about an interview. What's this about?
Yeah, bro. They was hitting me up about a real job. I'm like, this is a job, bro? I thought they were just I thought we was taking over their YouTube channel. He was like, nah, bro, this is a real channel. Like, oh, okay. Let's do this. Hey, nah, man. Appreciation to David Locke for giving me the opportunity to be here. Appreciate Nick Angstead, who I do Locked On NBA with. Who looked a little upset when I told him. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, you should have told him live on air, bro. You should have got that live on air.
It probably would have been great live on air, but I didn't want to see a grown man cry on air. No, I'm just playing. But no, I want to thank everybody who's brought me here. Like I said, this ain't the last show. I'll be here throughout the end of the month. We got 3 weeks, a little over 3 weeks to go. So still gonna be talking Bulls for at least the foreseeable future. But yeah, man. Every now and then you got to get off the horse.
Yeah. And
pause.
no. Now, if you would have said every now and again you got to stop riding or something like that, that would have been like, all right, that's a big pause there, my boy.
As long as you don't say pony. Pony makes it weird.
But yeah, I'll still get Pat in on big games. There's gonna be some times where I have to call the big brother and be like, "Hey, Pat, we just won by 50 points." And you get all that's never 50 points.
I will show up for all 50-point blowouts.
all 50-point blowouts.
All 50-point
Pat
blowouts.
the designer will be here. But,
I will be here. You can count on that.
Yeah, man. But any last thoughts, Pat, before we get up out of here, brother? By the way, this is not his last episode. He said it, but I know we're kind of getting, so he will be here until the end of the month. The last
I'm trying
episode,
to mentally prepare ourselves for this.
The last episode will be August 30th. So you got what, probably 10, 12 more episodes till we get there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. Last words. At the end of the day, love you guys, man. Love every one of you who has supported. Love every one of you who hated me when I first showed up here, and has now grown to love me. And love every one of you guys who's rocked with me over here, man. And keep rocking with me. Hopefully, you'll keep rocking with me on future endeavors. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. See Red Nation.
And now that Pat, once he is, off, he will be monitoring the comments still and flaming y'all because he's been taking it easy on some of y'all because he's been an employee. So y'all better watch out for that.
Hey, I can say whatever I want in these comments now, dog. I'm coming for next, bro. Some of y'all don't have next.
As long as you don't leave the search history how Big Dave left it.
We airing it out.
You can follow.
This is gonna become a dangerous show with Haize Solo.
You can follow me at CEO Haize, man. With that, thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys are following the show at Locked On Bulls. We're free and available on every podcasting app and platform of your choice, as well as YouTube. For Pat the Designer, this is Locked On Bulls, y'all. Peace.
Some strays in there that are unballed.